The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And this portion of the Coaches Show brought to you by Rick Hall with Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna. Give Rick a call for auto, home, business, and life insurance needs. Find out more online at rayburn.net. And we have the honor of having Rockvale defensive line coach Caleb Ingram with us today in place of Coach Guthrie, who had a little old age issue come up, or that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we were having practice the other day. He was running around and
he was running?
Running around.
Running
Running around. Next thing you know, he's laying on the ground, and so today he's getting his leg checked out. He's in a little bit of pain, so he asked me to come in and fill in for him today.
Well, I know how old he is. He shouldn't be doing any running anymore. I mean, he really shouldn't.
I think at his age, he should run more.
Oh, we'll hear about that one, won't we? A tough loss last night, and a very close game. And you guys have been in some close games this year. It seems like you're almost like the cardiac kids.
Oh yeah, we're trying to be like the basketball team, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, I would say if you're a fan, you love being at our games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big time dramatic games come down right to the wire. Our kids they've been competing till the end, and it's just like you see in what they say, it's a game of inches. Comes down a lot of times, comes down to one or two plays, and we've been on the short end of the stick a couple times.
Obviously a good game though. Now Tullahoma's a good football team, and people, I think they get overlooked, but I know Stewart's Creek coach told me that they were really good when they played them, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, great football team. People don't. Some people may not remember they won state championship just a couple years ago, and these kids, they're juniors and seniors maybe, or just their seniors, or they were on that team. So those kids know what it's like to win. They've got a good tradition over there, and you come into the game and they're one play away from being undefeated. And so we didn't overlook them. Our kids knew that it was going to be a tough game, tough opponent, and knew that these guys were hungry for a win at their home place.
Oh, it's one of those games where I think you walk away and go, the time ran out. I mean, it was a good game, and both teams played well.
Yeah, it was a really, really good game. There are things we could sharpen up on, each part of the game, and I think that the other team looked that way, and just, a couple pieces fell their way opposed to falling ours.
Let's talk about some people that played in this game for Rockvale.
Yes, sir.
Porter had 3 carries for 57 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Morgan, 3 receptions for 86 yards. You all mix it up pretty well, and Romeo George had 23 carries for 158 yards. So offensively, you did some things. It kind of took you a little while to get going, but once you did, you did all right.
Yeah, offensively, we had a really big night. So the guys you mentioned, those are guys you expect to play great. Those are guys that you come to the game, probably everybody's game planning for. Romeo's 10th grader, he stepped up big time. What people don't realize is we had a lot of 10th graders step up last night and play some varsity minutes for the first time, or 10th graders, 11th graders, some guys who haven't played before. So we had a lot of guys on offense step up and play, and we had a lot of guys on defense step up and play that hadn't played before. So it's beautiful to see that we had the success we had with those skill guys, the guys you expect to play. You just don't know that. You don't know behind the scenes that a lot of times offensive line, defensive line, you got guys stepping up and executing well. Is
it kind of a hidden treasure that you find that out and for later on? This is what these games are for too. So some of them are non-district. It's kind of good to see that, because you're going to need those guys as the season progresses.
It's always nice to see your younger guys step up, because you had Coach Caudill on here, and our only JV game has been the game with them, and so we've only had one JV game, so it's been nice to see those guys that have been practicing so hard and trying to earn a spot on Friday night, get a chance to show what they have, due to injuries and things like that. So it's nice to see those guys step up and execute and develop, to see, hey, we've got some other guys we can trust, build some depth.
Porter was 12 of 22 for 208 yards. How's he progressing? And he had some rushing yards as well.
Elliott.
Elliott.
Yes, sir. Elliott, yeah, he's great. He's he shined last year in JV, so we knew we had a little hidden gem, and then he got a chance to play at the end of the year. Mayhew went down, and then this year he's electric. It's fun to watch him play. He's a special guy.
He's another one that gives you a little more of a threat in terms of running the football too, that you really probably haven't had as much of.
He is explosive, dual sport athlete, runs the hurdles and track, and is one of the better guys in the hurdles at track. I'm track coach, I know.
Okay, there you go.
But when he pulls the ball, everybody's got their popcorn out watching.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's going to do with it. He can run, he can throw it, he can throw on the run. It doesn't change whether he's moving or he's standing still. He can hum that ball, and then he can beat anybody with his speed. He's fastest. He may be one of the fastest guys on the field every time he steps on the field.
Caleb Ingram is our guest here, and we'll talk about the defensive line. You're the defensive line coach. We're going to talk about that in a second. I wanted to ask about. I've only been to Tullahoma's field once, but it's pretty nice, isn't it? I mean, they've spent a lot of money on that field.
Yes, sir. Some of the fans were talking about how they enjoyed how the bleachers are very tall, very easy to see the game, and it's right on top of the field. They don't have a very big sideline, so the bleachers are right on top of the field. Good to see, and they got a really nice home side press box, almost like a small university's football program.
Yeah.
You can tell they put a lot of money and emphasis on football program there.
I think the city has done a lot for them too, as well on that. Of course, I think that's a city school actually in terms of high school.
Yeah,
you don't see that often.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But.
All right, defensive line. And you've been with them for a few years now.
Yes, sir. I've been there 6 years since school opened.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you've kind of got it down what you want to do and what you're seeing. And let's take this year's team. Defensive line is so important. I mean,
yes,
in the flow of the game and everything. How do you feel about this bunch? And I feel like you feel pretty good with them.
Yes, sir. If we're talking exclusively D-line, I look like a good coach out there because I've got a lot of talent out there. I've got you got a couple guys got Division I scholarships, and Bo Bryan, Steven Nelson, who play some. They play a lot of offensive line, and we rotate them. Steven starts for us. Bo, we rotate him in on defense, and then we've got Melvin Boone. He's a junior, played all last year as a sophomore. Phenomenal talent, super strong kid, and then we've got some young guys. We had a guy that had to step up. Isaiah Inman, little guy, plays with a lot of heart, did really well, and then we had some sophomores step up. Demarion Thomas, Jaden Lee, those are some of the sophomores I was talking about had to play, and then, of course, we've got another guy, Jackson Sonny, who plays D-line. He's stepped up. He's been a big surprise for us because last year he was almost exclusively offensive line, and then this year he's been wrecking havoc. He had 2 sacks last week. Last night had some tackles for loss. But as a defense as a whole, we did pretty. We played pretty well, pretty good, and we, like I said, we had a lot of guys step up that haven't played before, hadn't been asked to play as much as they did last night. So it was really nice to see, and you hate that the pieces didn't fall your way for you get to win.
But they've been consistent this year. I mean, defensively, you guys have been pretty consistent. The offense kind of off and on a little bit, but y'all have been kind of the mainstays, I think.
The defense is, you've got those Cavante Porter and Jalen Morgan have made a lot of big plays for us. Our young are not young; they're juniors now, but they seem young because they've been there the whole time. Ty Brown and Jay Monk have had massive turnovers in the last 2 games. Ty Brown picked one off in the end zone versus Smyrna, and Jay Monk had 2 interceptions. The first game versus Nolensville. So you've had your defensive backfield almost make it where teams got to run. That's all they can do is run, and then you've got Division I guys up front playing D-line. Yeah. You're not getting past them. And then you got your linebackers. You got a couple good linebackers that are filling. One of them, 10th grader Dallas Paldo, and he's crushing people. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, can run, and he's knocking people out. And then we got some senior linebackers that have been with us for a while, Donnie Geaton and Evangelist Brooks, and they're running around the field, anything not getting tackled by any guy on the exterior. They're there to make a play. It
seems like you've got a good mix of, I know you mentioned a lot of sophomores and juniors here. That's a good mix with blended in with some seniors.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we've got a lot of variety in our team, and so that's why it was exciting to see, especially Romeo George. he got 23 carries. I didn't realize he had that much because we're under the 10 a lot of times on defense. But that great game for a 10th grader.
Yeah,
I knew he was special. He looks great. He works really hard in the weight room. So it's exciting to see him have some success. Because he's a great kid, and you want your 10th graders to be, if your 10th graders are playing, you want them to be playing great, especially as because that makes in the future look even better for you.
1 and 2, I think so far, but really two close games.
Yes, sir.
Out of the 3.
We're 2 plays from being 3-0.
Yeah,
2 plays from 3-0. I think Nolensville hits a 47-yard field goal to win the game as time expires. They hit a 50-yard field goal with 1 minute left, and we drive down the field, and they stop us on 4th and 1, 4th and inches. We get stopped.
Those kind of things, though, I think are going to pay off for you guys when we start really gets really super serious with the district and that kind of thing, because you're going to go through those, and some of those are going to turn around. But I think overall you're pretty pleased with the way they're playing. I mean,
it's great seeing them compete all the way to the end. And once the ball falls your way, you're like I said, we're a couple plays from being 3-0. As the ball gets rolling, the ball falls your way. It's exciting to see what our team can do, especially with the guys we got. You've mentioned them. I've mentioned a couple of them, but we've got a team that if they get the ball rolling and everything falls into place the way it should, it's going to be a special year.
And they're young. I mean, they're really young.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got some young talent. Yes, sir.
Let's talk about Stewart's Creek real quickly here. They've been, speaking of offense, they've been racking up some points, and the defense had a shutout last night. I know that's it's going to be at your place. I think your guys will be ready, but they bring a lot to the table.
Yes, sir. They're always exciting to play. We always play them tough. Anytime you play somebody right down the road, I think if a bird flies, they're 5 miles away from us. The way the crow flies, I think that's how that saying
They turn
goes.
into rivalries when they're that close, don't they? Kind of.
So it's exciting to play them because we've played them. I think we've played them every year, even when they weren't in the district.
Yeah.
So they're always going to bring a good squad out there. Ben is he puts together a good program, and I know that he'll have his boys ready, and I know our guys will be fired up to play them, excited to play at home.
Well, I guess before I let you go, Caleb, the big question is: will the coach be able to stand on the sidelines Friday?
No doubt.
We're waiting.
No doubt, he's going to be fine. He stood there last night. He's just getting checked out, making sure there's nothing serious going on.
Well, he'll be out there if he's in a wheelchair. I mean, I know that.
He'll stand no matter what. He's a good guy. He's a great guy, and I hope he's okay.
Yes, he is. And we wish him a lot of luck. But I tell him just the age thing, you gotta be careful.
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, that's Caleb Ingram, the defensive line coach for Rockvale. We appreciate him coming in, and Brian, we do wish you a good report on that knee. This portion of the show is brought to you by Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, family owned and operated since 1977. They bailed WGNS out this week. Get the best service with Prentice Allsup Heating and Air online at PrenticeAllsup.com. Coming up next, I think we're going to be talking some Siegel football, and that will be with Danny Brewer.
Parks Auction. We handle everything.
The auction is a means of drawing people together for a quick, easy sale.
I've always been a big fan of auctions. You get instant sale, no contingencies and everything. I've known the guys over there my entire life.
Visit our website at parksauction.com to learn more.
Hi there, driving home now.
Call Parks Auction at 896-4600. Stan Vaught and the Parks Auction team are proud supporters